Yes guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Vinny's Talk Show. So today we're back with another Piers Morgan video, and this one is Piers, you are racially prejudiced. Iman confronts Piers Morgan in heated debates. Let's get straight into it. Thanks for clicking on this video. Let's go.
And in the UK and the US, Blackout performances are dedicated to black-only audiences. Those who are not black are asked not to buy tickets. The Theatre of Royal Stratford East in London says no one's excluded from attending their new show, Tambo and Bows, but promotional material makes clear that white people aren't wanted at the production on the night in question. Says a Blackout night is a purposeful creation of an environment in which an all-black identifying audience can experience and discuss an event in performing arts, free from the white gaze. So does this mean I can go if I identify as a black man? There would be someone on the woke side who would have, well, they have trouble disagreeing with that, given they believe in limitless self-identity. But it is...
Which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way.
More importantly, is it ever okay to exclude audiences based on skin colour? What would happen, for example, if it was the other way around? If this was a white-only audience? Well, I'm joined by the Talk TV contributor Esther Krakow and the Black Lives Matter organiser and activist Iman Aidens. All right, Iman, I'm just trying to picture what would happen if I put on a theatrical production in London and it said it was for whites only, or people identifying as white, which is obviously a ludicrous phrase, but you would go nuts. You would say that is blatant racism, segregation, dragged us kicking and screaming back to the dark days of appalling bigotry. You would.
Well, it depends on the context, right?
There's no whites-only audience.
Yes.
No,
it depends.
Context. No, it's not context. It's the situation.
No black people allowed. What would you say?
Well, I think you're perfectly right. It would be akin to racists finding more ways to be more racist.
So why is it okay this way around?
Okay, so we have to put it into context. It was one out of the 29 shows.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Let's put it into context, because you want to forget about context. Context is everything. It is one...
Right, regardless of how many shows there were, 29 shows, you know how racist that is towards white people having a black-only event? How do you know out of all the events, the black-only one, you know, white people might have missed it? You know, they might have been busy all the other dates, and the one date that they wanted to go is black-only. This is my issue. Black people are trying to reverse. We're trying to go back in time. They're trying to segregate. We're bringing back segregation. What's going on? You know, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Of the 29 shows that was targeted towards black people, and at no point did they say certain people are not excluded. In fact, they actually said it verbatim on their website. No one is excluded, and yet you have found racism.
No. I just read the rest of what they said. It's pretty clear. You are not supposed to go if you're not black.
No, please consider booking other dates.
Right, exactly.
That's
I think the context. You're right. The context is important. I think the issue
Thank you.
here is when it's talking about sort of blackouts, and it's trying to gather an audience of black people that they believe have the same experience.
Exactly.
This doesn't transpose the same way it does in the US and the UK, right? A black person in the UK could be black African, black British, black from the Caribbean.
No, it's just.
Right, in the US, their conversation around race is completely different, and that's why it's a problem. Obviously, when you bring this to the UK, people are going to be like, "What are you talking about?" This is especially in London, the most multicultural city in the country.
Can you see any merit to it?
Of course not. But that's I don't even think it makes sense in the American context.
Why is that? If you're talking about safe spaces, because let's just be clear, we're talking about safe spaces.
Because I think
What do you mean safe space? What does that mean?
Okay, so
you wouldn't feel safe if I came along?
No. Again, context. We're talking about a play that was done by black people, for black people, targeted for black people.
So
Does that mean white people can't attend?
One out of the... Again, let's just be clear, because you're clearly not getting this message. It is basically akin to the disabled community putting on 29 shows, and 29 shows about disabilities, and then one of those shows is targeted towards the disabled community. That is what it is akin to, and yet you have a problem. Why is that, Piers? Have you genuinely asked yourself?
Because, like he said, if it was the opposite way around, you would be fuming. You'd be like, "Oh, it's racist. They're finding another way to be racist." Oh my days, man.
It's different between disabilities or disabled community or Jewish, but when it comes to black,
my problem is that you have already conceded that if it was the other way round, and this was a whites-only night of this theatrical performance, you would say racist. And that's my problem.
Safe spaces.
It's the
Black
double
people are
standard.
disproportionately affected by racism, so therefore it's about safe spaces. This play is about racism, so therefore we should have a safe space for black people as we are disproportionately affected by racism.
I don't think you tackle...
You wouldn't say that to a woman. You wouldn't say that to a woman when she was talking about abuse and therefore she wanted and they wanted and she wanted a safe space.
I'm sorry.
You say that.
The idea of safe spaces and black people needing safe spaces is extremely patronising.
But we're talking about racism.
Okay,
let her finish.
What about Asian people? Do Asian people need safe spaces from racism?
When talking about
Asian people...
I'm answering a question.
We don't have this conversation.
When talking about...
Let Esther finish.
No, she just asked me a question, so I'm answering it. When talking about...
She is so annoying, oh my days.
Asian racism, I think they deserve a bit of a safe space. When they're talking about their own experiences...
From black people or from white people?
From all types of people that are going to...
All right,
I'll tell you this woman's problem. She only cares about black people. She clearly doesn't even care about black people because I imagine she's well, for starters, she's she organises the Black Lives Matter movements, which are, you know, I don't even need to speak on that because we all know it's a lot of propaganda bullshit. And if anyone's racist, it's a lot. There's a lot. They never talk about the black people that are actually racist to each other. You know, if anyone's racist, it's the knife crime, the gang crime, the slavery that goes on in Africa. You know, we're not talking about these problems where black people are racist to black people or whatever. It's just, you know, there's not much racism. You know, I mean, I can experience racism. You know, I've experienced racism in my own country before.
Judgment, because it's about being free of judgment.
Esther, let me ask you.
Free of white judgment, free of Asian judgment, free of all types.
Let somebody else speak, please.
No, I'm going to.
Or we're going to have a safe space where you get removed so that only I can be heard speaking.
Happily, and I'll say bye to you both.
I will have a one night only Piers.
Happily, I'll say bye to you both. I'll see you on Saturday. I'll say bye to you.
I'll have one night of the show where only I am allowed to speak and you're not allowed to because of your skin colour. How would you like that?
Well, that's called racism.
Exactly my point.
No, it's not.
Esther, let me ask you this. What would most black friends of yours or family think about this? I mean, in other words, is it something where a lot of black people might go, you know what, actually, I can see some merit to this?
They would see it as an American importation, right?
Does that mean necessarily a bad thing?
I think that it would. No, yeah, it would be seen as ridiculous, but ridiculously, particularly American. Right, because black people are not a monolith, which we can all agree on. Black people come from various parts of the world; they have different cultures. This idea that there is a shared black experience, I think, is ludicrous. Other than the color of our skin, but I don't. But you have to accept there are many connotations you're adding to that.
By your own
I could say that as a black person, I
face
face more racism from Asian and Middle Eastern people, so I should have a safe space from those people. Can you even identify them? No, but that's ridiculous.
I don't think. Okay, let me interrupt. Let me speak. I don't think any form of art should ever be exclusionary on the grounds of skin colour, regardless of who it's targeted to or who it's made by.
We're talking about race equity.
The whole point.
This is a woman, by the way, where you could say anything towards her, not even racist. Like there's not much racism that goes on around England, other than. You know, there's a lot. I've been, you know, Asian people have been racist to me before. I've been called a white boy, milky kid, and everything like that. But yeah, this woman claims everybody's racist or every white person's racist. Like, even if she smiled at someone and they didn't smile back, she'd call them racist.
For art is it should be for everybody.
But we're talking about race equity.
For everybody. No.
Context.
I don't know. It's not right. It's not racially equal about this.
Yes.
It's racially unequal. You're saying no white people can come.
Context.
It's ridiculous.
What's the play about, Piers?
I've heard your art.
What's the play about?
It doesn't matter what it's about.
Yes, it does. That's your issue. You want to negate context. And there is no argument from both of us without context. You know this, and yet you try to negate it.
No, I don't know this. No, you can't.
Deal with the context. And if you can't deal with it, don't come with an argument.
You can't tell
deal
me.
With the context.
You can't tell me what I'm thinking.
No, exactly. But that's
right?
what you do to me.
Or what my opinion
is. And that's
is.
what people like you do to me.
People like me?
Yes.
What do you mean people like me?
Prejudice. Racially prejudiced people like yourself. That's what you do. That's why we need safe spaces.
You're calling me racially prejudiced?
I've done that several times, Piers. Why are you surprised?
Why are you saying that?
Ignorance doesn't actually suit you.
That's ignorant, actually, what you just said.
I've just told you.
I'm not racially prejudiced.
Okay,
and what you just said is very
prejudice,
offensive. And you shouldn't be saying that.
Piers, what's prejudice?
Huh?
What's prejudice?
If you're racially prejudiced, you are a racist.
What's prejudice?
That's what you just called me.
You've been learning.
I'm not accepting that, sorry.
What's prejudice?
Esther, will you go and watch this?
Swiftly move on.
No, I don't think you should be calling me a racist.
Swiftly move
It's ridiculous.
on. I've done it several times, and yet you have a problem.
Then you're
with the
wrong
third
every time.
I did it last year. You're talking about it today as if it's a new surprise. It's not. I told you last year you were racially prejudiced, and I'm telling you again today.
And
yet you have no argument.
It's a lazy thing to say.
Lazy thing to say. Well done.
Because I'm not racially prejudiced. Never has been.
What's racial prejudice, Piers?
It's being a racist.
Answer the question.
It's judging people prejudicially on their skin colour.
That's what you do.
Actually, rather like what this theatrical production is doing.
That's what you do.
We're going to leave it there. Thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
Piers just had enough for her, you know. You can't, like, we're going to ask Esther a question. He's just like, you know what, just fuck this off. Because Iman, you just can't argue with her. She's stuck up, racist woman. Towards white people especially. She's so racist towards white people. And if you can't see it, then you're nuts. But make sure you drop a comment in the comments down below. I love all people. I don't care about your skin colour. You're just a human to me. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you click on the like and subscribe button. I'll see you next time.